As a little kid, I had two main traits. I was angry and I was asthmatic, which is a terrible combination. It is not easy to be dark and moody, trying to ignore your parents, listening to My Chemical Romance on your iPod Nano in 2007, when at any point you could just oh my God, honey, are you okay? Yeah, Mom, I'm fine. God. I was an angsty, angry kid. And I don't mean as a teenager, I don't mean as a preteen. I was a child. I was a 5-year-old Wednesday Addams. I exclusively wore black. I never smiled. I kind of just lurked in corners like a fun-sized Robert Pattinson in The Batman, just Kubrick staring up at everyone. That was my thing, glaring. That was my signature move. I loved it. It was kind of how I showed my anger, you know? I wasn't really an act-out kind of angry kid. I was more the slow, simmering rage kind of kid. I loved that glare. Oh, I loved it. That long, creepy, silent glare. It's delicious. I mean, you glare like that, you are untouchable. Literally, people want to get away from you. It was the best, being a creepy little kid. I freaked people out. I mean, look at her. Look at the disdain, the unadulterated rage at the fact that this photo is being taken. I mean, look at her. That's not a kid. That's my sleep paralysis demon. That was creepy. I like to play dead during nap time in kindergarten. I'd be like on my little fold out mat, and my teacher would turn on the lights and be like, okay kids, time to get up. And I would stay super still. And I'd let everyone else get up, and I'd hold my breath. And sometimes I'd let it go like way too far, and my teacher would be like shaking me awake, like, Emma? Emma? And I would just, until one of the other kids started to really freak out and cry, and then I'd just, whoo! Gotcha. Don't trust her. She was evil. My glaring did cause some problems. I really did a number on my first grade teacher. Freaked her out. And I get it. She's dealing with 6-year-old. She's not really expecting a Death Eater to sit in her class all year. Every morning we'd gather for story time on the carpet, and she'd, Emma, do you want to read the next part of Peter Rabbit? And I'd, okay, well, maybe you could try. Anyway, you know, it's always good to try, boys and girls. Okay. Kelsey, why don't you try, sweetie? We'd move on to math, same problem. I was ready to commit murder if someone asked me to subtract. I was only really normal at recess. Loved recess. My favorite recess game was house. Playing house. If you've never played house, oh my God, you are missing out. It is the best. You do everything you would at home, at house, and you do it next to a swing set. You have all the same fights, all the same stresses, all the same family dynamics. It's really a reenactment game where everyone learns just how much resentment elementary school girls are harboring for their families. And my favorite part of house was when I got to be the one to die of consumption. House was always set in approximately 1733 for me, We were feeding horses. We were churning butter. We were trying to harvest enough grain. Winter is coming. House was about drama. It was about war and plague and struggle. If you weren't playing house with high stakes, with life or death stakes, you were not committed to this family. We need not enough money. We need bitchy side characters played by the friends we don't really like that much. And we need one girl to volunteer to die a long, painful, agonizing death right as the bell rings for lunch. I think my teacher probably hit her breaking point around the 10th or 11th time that I came in from recess. And how was your playtime, Emma? I had tuberculosis for 6 months and then died of an abscessed lung. It was exhilarating. That's nice, sweetheart. She was so freaked out. She called my parents to have a special meeting about me, and I wish I could have been present for that phone call because I wasn't acting out. I was a quiet kid. I was too quiet. I was too quiet and too creepy and too glary. That was the problem. So I have to think that that phone call went something like, "Hi, yes, I was just calling because, well, I think it might be good to have a conversation about your daughter, Emma. Why? Is she okay? Is everything okay? Is she okay? Yeah. No, she's excelling in first grade academics. It's just, oh my God. Is she being bullied? No, it's just, is she bullying? No, it's just, well, she's scary. And my parents, who lived with me and knew what I was like, decided, I love them for this, they decided to attend that meeting with my frightened teacher doing their best impression of me. You wanted to see us about Emma? Hi! Yeah. Thanks for coming. What seems to be the problem? Well, she's quiet. Is that a problem? No, of course not. No, she's a pleasure to have in class. Yeah, no, keep up the great parenting. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, bye. I'm glad my parents had a sense of humor about it, because I sure as hell did not. I didn't exactly want my parents dead, but I was willing to make them wish they were, you know? Every conversation in my house went something like, "How was your day, Emma?" "Fine." "What did you learn in 3rd grade today?" "I don't know." "You didn't learn anything?" "I don't know." "Did you have a good day?" "I don't know." "Can you say anything other than I don't know?" "I don't know." Emma, one of these days you are really gonna hurt someone's feelings by not answering them properly. Okay, so you could try giving more than 1-syllable answers. Okay. Emma, can you please try? I said okay. What more do you want from me? I want to know how your day was. It was fine. Oh my God. Emma, Carissa, Chase, we do not say oh my God in this house. Oh, fine. And we don't say fine. Oh my God. Emma, what is your problem? What is wrong with you? I don't know. That's it. Just go to your room. Fine. And I'd stomp up the stairs. fine, fine, fine. And I'd get to my room and I'd slam the door. Fine! 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 And finally, I would hear my mom coming. Up the stairs, quietly, calmly, and she'd open my door. She'd whisper, Emma, if I hear this door slam one more time, I don't know how my parents didn't throw me in the trash. I would have tossed me away with last week's recycling. I'm pretty sure how my mom wanted to end that sentence was, Emma, if I hear this door slam one more time, I will dump you in an alleyway by the nearest orphanage, and I hope you watch as all the other little orphan girls get adopted by a nice, rich man. Every single one, except you, 'cause it's a hard knock life, you little muskrat. But she didn't, because she's a great mom. My second main trait as a kid was being asthmatic. I had very bad asthma as a kid. I actually had a lot of medical issues. I was a very sick kid. The first issue was that I was born 3 months early, which means I did not cook long enough. Fun fact, preemie babies are born covered in hair, so I came out looking like a disgruntled gorilla. One time, I told someone I was a preemie baby, and they just went, oh yeah, you look like you were premature. And I would just like to say, fuck you, Jessica. But I was tiny. I was teeny tiny. I was 2.5 pounds when I was born, and apparently this was great news because I had hit the 2-pound mark, which meant I had better chances of surviving the NICU. And I did. I survived. Hallelujah. Just with a bunch of terms and conditions. My lungs didn't work. My immune system didn't work. I'm like 3 inches tall and I can eat 3 foods. I was a sick kid, okay? And my lungs were like a bad partner. They were never there for me, and on the occasions that they were suffocating. And so because of that, I was on a schedule to use a nebulizer every 3 to 4 hours. If you don't know what a nebulizer is, don't worry, you do. It's that thing in action movies where the big star has been in a big fight with the big bad guy, and he gets mortally wounded, and he passes out. And while he's passed out, he gets taken to a hospital. And he wakes up in the hospital, and he's really confused and in pain, and he's wearing a mask that's connected to a tube that's connected to a machine. And you know how when you wake up in a strange-looking medical establishment and you're really confused and in pain, and you're wearing a mask that's connected to a tube that's connected to a machine that is clearly helping you continue regular lung function? You know how your first instinct is to rip off that mask and then rip off all the wires that are monitoring if you're still alive, and then you tear out the IV in your arm without creating a fatal gushing wound, and you throw yourself back into the fight you were having when you were knocked out and taken to a room of emergency, and then you run out of the hospital with no shoes and no paperwork because you're gonna find who took your daughter, motherfucker! That mask and that tube and that machine make up a nebulizer, and it takes medication and makes it inhalable so it can go directly into your lungs. So in the case that you're having trouble breathing from, say, a 12-minute fight sequence or a chronic condition like asthma, the nebulizer is there for you. One night when I was 7, I woke up 2 in the morning, couldn't breathe. And to be fair, that was like kind of standard issue back then, so like whatever, normal life. I use my inhaler. Doesn't work. Okay. Use my nebulizer. Doesn't work. I still can't breathe. I still can't breathe. That's the last thing I remember saying to my dad before I passed out. I completely stopped breathing. I turned blue. My dad picks me up. He hauls me to the ER. They intubate me, which is where they take a tube and stick it down your throat into your lungs to breathe for you. Everything in my body shuts down. My heart isn't beating. I mean, this is it. My mom was on a business trip. She gets a call 3 a.m. Come home right now. Your daughter is not going to live through the night. She takes a 4 a.m. flight back home. This is it. I'm dying. I hear it was very traumatic. I don't know. I wasn't really there. I'm dying. And then suddenly, I stabilize. I mean, the tube still breathed through me for a few days, but then I woke up. And I was in the, oh, by the way, I can confirm, if you wake up in the ICU days after passing out with a mask and a bunch of shit connected to you, you can, in fact, just go, and then go back to sleep. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and they never figured out what happened. They never figured out what caused it. You know, it was just a fluke. Both that I had gone down so hard and so fast, and that I had recovered. It was crazy. But because we didn't really know why it happened for a long time, for years, we kind of just assumed it could happen again at any point. And that was life, you know? That was normal life. I think a lot of people don't realize that asthma can be, you know, like that, you know, because everyone's so used to asthmatic characters in movies and TV. Like, every child with asthma in media is this scrawny, underdeveloped nerd who's always hunched over, wheezing like Darth Vader at the side of gym class while everyone else succeeds at the pacer test. And that hurts. But it's true. And nothing hurts more than the truth you can't fight. And we can't fight. We don't have the stamina. That's why we can't do the pacer test in the first place. The whole point of the pacer test is that it's a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues. It is designed to test endurance, which I didn't have. If you didn't know, according to the California Department of Education, if you're a 10-year-old girl, you are supposed to complete a minimum of 17 laps in order to be considered in what they call the healthy fitness zone. And it increases by 3 laps every year. So by the time you're 18, you'd be at a minimum of 38 laps. I never reached the healthy fitness zone. The highest I ever got at the pacer test was 30 laps at 18. At 18, I had the minimum score for a healthy 8th grader. I was never first out at the pacer though. I couldn't be, you know? Everyone expects it from the asthmatic kid. Like, yeah, of course Piggy from Lord of the Flies is gonna drop dead first. I couldn't be out first. I had too much pride. So instead, I bribed my friends to be out first so I could quit a lap after them and not look as bad. Every year, the day we found out we'd be doing the pacer, I'd be in the corner of the classroom during snack time, haggling. Like, 12 laps. Do I hear 12 laps? Like, 12 laps. You got 1 week of pretzel boxes. Ah! How about 10? Do I hear 10? 10 laps? I'll throw in this pack of Gushers as a gesture of my thanks. Ah, going once, going twice, sold for 10 laps. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. And I did that until high school. In high school, I didn't have to bargain anymore because my school did this thing. They did this thing where they split up PE classes. Like you could do regular PE, which most people took, or you could do PECs. And PECs stood for Physical Education, Challenge, and Skill. The actual real description of this class from my high school reads, PECs class is designed for those students who play and compete at the highest level. All units are competitively driven. Competition is fierce, and those students who enter this class should be prepared for a highly aggressive and combative environment. May the odds be ever in your favor. Oh. I didn't do PECs. I did Lifetime. Lifetime PE was geared towards activities, not sports, that one could do for your whole lifetime. Lifetime PE is designed for students who do not enjoy traditional physical education and features activities such as power walking, bocce ball, and relaxation. This class was such a joke, and I loved it. You could lie down for 45 minutes and call it yoga. It was perfect for me. Because come the time every year where you had to do the pacer test, people dropped out like that. People were so lazy about it, my teacher had to mandate a minimum of 10 laps before you were allowed to quit. And that meant suddenly I'm the star of PE class. I mean, I'm churning out 12, 13 laps like an Olympian. The year I got my 30 laps, I was the last woman standing. I mean, I'm just showing off. I am Usain Bolt on a victory lap. Like, yeah, 30, woo! There are perks to being a sick kid. Pacer's not one of them, but there are perks. People don't really talk about the perks. Like, sick kids don't really want to acknowledge the perks. You know, if you're a sick kid, doesn't matter what you're sick with, you have a secret weapon. And you hold it close. We can't let anyone know we have it. Because if we do, if you know a sick kid and you know the secret, we lose our power. I'll tell you the secret. As a sick kid, you get anything you want. You get anything you want. You pay a price, don't get me wrong. The highway to heaven is not toll-free. But people, especially adults, will trip over themselves, making sure that you, a poor, sick kid, have anything you want or need. Juice, snacks, toys, a blanket. It is Christmas all year round as a sick kid. People are doing stuff for you. They're buying you things. They are paying so much attention to you. And why? Because they feel bad. Oh my God. They feel so bad for you. They feel so bad for you. They feel so bad. You know what? It's fine, honey, that you didn't do your homework. You had a rough night of being a sick kid. And you know what? It's fine that you don't want to participate in class. You can sit out, honey. No problem. You don't want to go to school? Day off. No questions asked. Because we feel so bad because we know that you are so small and so frail and so sick and so helpless. We know that you would never, ever take advantage of this situation. Every sick kid is gonna use that sick kid get out of jail free card for their personal gain. And there's nothing wrong with that. We deserve it. We worked hard. We need it. I mean, think about it. If for your entire life you have had a constant stream of love and attention for all the ways that you're fucked up, you can't function without that attention. Your first priority is to make sure you hold on to it. That thing with the passing out and the tube breathing for me and the traumatizing my family and the almost dying. Oh my God. Best thing to ever happen to me. Holy shit. Call it a near-death experience. Call it a brief death experience. I flatlined. I came back from the dead. And do you want to know how people treat you when you've come back from the dead? Like a god. I divine righted that shit. I was a queen holding court in that hospital room. I mean, people came from miles to shower me with gifts and food and updates of the peasant world beyond. That happened after the first day of second grade. And when I came back to school, I came back a prophet. I came back Timothy Chalamet after drinking that cool blue Gatorade. Like, I have seen the other side. I know what the future holds. I am Lizan Al-Gaib. I came back home. I owned that house. I didn't have to eat vegetables. I didn't have a bedtime. I didn't have restrictions on TV. My parents probably thought, oh, she might not be around for that long, so we should probably let her watch Zack and Cody while she still can. That's why they didn't throw me in the trash. They were waiting me out. And life was great because of it. I mean, I'm living off McDonald's. I'm sitting courtside in gym class, chilling. Doctor's note, bitch. I'm daydreaming in class. There are no rules. When everyone thinks you could die at any moment, I thought I could die at any moment. You think I'm gonna pay attention in school? It's the end of the world for me, baby. Live fast, die young. I'm coasting. I'm coasting through second grade, through third grade, through fourth. Not fourth grade. In fourth grade, something really difficult happened in fourth grade. There's not really like a funny or easy way to say it, so I'll just say it. My sister, my older sister, Kira, she was 13 at the time. She got cancer. She got Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I had a really hard time watching my sister get sick, you know? I didn't really understand that a healthy kid, you know, my healthy, beautiful sister could just become sick like that. Like, I was a sick kid. I always had been. I didn't realize it could just happen to someone. I was there when she got the diagnosis, and we're sitting in our pediatrician's office, and she says those words to my sister, those words that no kid should ever have to hear. You have cancer. And I'm sitting next to her, and I'm sitting next to my mom, and we're all kind of trying to hold on to the moment before, you know? The moment before she says those words, the moment before her life, our lives, before everything changes. But it's changed. In one moment, everything's changed. Kira has cancer. And I'm looking at her, and my first thought is, This bitch stole my thing. This bitch stole my thing. Being sick, that's my thing. Being the sick kid of the family, that is my thing. That's all I had going for me. That's my power source. That's my infinity gauntlet. And she's stealing it. What? She's gonna be sick too now? She's gonna learn the secret. If she learns the sick kid's secret, I'm fucked. Oh my God, she's gonna ruin everything. Like, I can't beat cancer. What the fuck, Kira? Everything changed. Suddenly, Kira's getting all the sick kid attention. She was diagnosed right before Christmas, but, okay, side note, objectively, so sad. But what a way to find out you're on the naughty list. We're visiting family for the holidays, and people's first question is, oh, how's Kira doing? How's treatment going for Kira? Is Kira okay? We're gonna pray for Kira. And I'm like, hello? I'm still fucked up. I'm a chronically ill Simone Biles doing medical backflips for 9 years. Kira goes to chemo for 2 weeks and everyone freaks the fuck out. Pray for me. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Kira has cancer. What am I gonna do? What do I have to do? I have to turn my shit up to 11. I have to scream. I have to sob. I have to wail just to get anyone to look at me. And nothing I did was good enough. It was like being nominated for an Emmy in the same category as Zendaya. I'm on my campaign trail, like, look, I know she's doing some real tough, gritty work right now. And I know it's new and it keeps you on the edge of your seat. And she looks great doing it. But can we remember the other people in this business who have put in the time, put in the effort to be where they are? Can you tell I've never smoked a cigarette? Can't. I would die. I'd get pneumonia, and Kira would get a fever and be rushed to the hospital. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, gasping for air, and Kira's biopsy to get rid of the tumor would be successful. I sprained my ankle. I can't walk. And the next day, Kira is approved for a potentially life-saving clinical trial. Oh my God. I can't keep up with this. I can't keep up with this. Weeks and weeks and weeks go by. I can't keep up with this. It was the first time in my life I had to put any effort into anything. It was exhausting. The only light at the end of the tunnel was months later, the day I've been waiting for, the day everyone's been waiting for. Finally, it's my birthday. It's my 10th birthday. Oh yeah, double digits. I am so excited. I put on my best birthday black. I run downstairs 6 a.m. and I am ready. I am ready to be lauded for my accomplishment of staying alive. It is my day. And no one says anything. Yeah. I sit down with my cereal. Rice milk second. I'm not a monster. And I think, it's probably a fake out. It's gonna be so good. Just wait. I'm 10. Just wait. It's gonna be so good. And my parents are going about like it's a normal day. You know, if anything, they're kind of distracted and they're doting a lot on Kira. This again. I am so sick of this. I don't tell them it's my birthday. Of course I don't, because then their happy birthday would be a meaningless, hollow lie. I go to school and I'm pissed. You almost forgot about the glaring. It's in full swing today. I'm seething. It doesn't matter that I have my name on the birthday poster or that I can choose my spot on the carpet during story time. It all means nothing. School ends. I go home. I open the door. Emma! We forgot to tell you, it was Kira's last day of chemo. Her last treatment. She is officially cancer-free. She's in remission. Good job. Honey, we're so sorry. We were so busy this morning. Happy birthday. Okay. We have presents. Okay. Do you want to go to Applebee's? Can I get a kiwi lemonade? Of course, honey. Anything you want. I want a large one. Oh, honey, you never finish the... Oh, no, a large one. Of course, anything. Okay. Okay. I mean, Applebee's? I mean, I can get behind this. I mean, I get my kiwi lemonade. Extra large. I get a 2 for $20 chicken tenders. It's all coming together. I mean, it's my birthday. Oh my God, all eyes are on me. I mean, this is so much attention. This is what I've been missing. I mean, we're kind of celebrating Kira too, but whatever, who cares? I'm so excited. It's my day. I'm so excited. Wow, I'm kind of shaking. Wow, I'm so excited. They're singing happy birthday to me. I'm so excited. I'm hyperventilating. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I have an asthma attack. And that is the story of how I spent the night of my 10th birthday in the hospital. I know I've been a little cruel about childhood cancer. Don't worry. I'm not done. The thing that really pissed me off the most about Kira's cancer was that she got a Make-A-Wish. She got a Make-A-Wish for having cancer for 4 months. Don't we remember that I'm the Simone Biles of medical problems? I am setting record after record after record. And Kira gets the gold medal of medicine after 4 months? Call me old-fashioned, but I believe a kid should suffer through 2 solstices before they get to meet the Jonas Brothers. 4 months. And for anyone who's unfamiliar with Make-A-Wish, when you get a wish, you can use that wish until you're 18. Kira got her wish at 13, which means she had 5 years. She had 5 years to think, to ruminate, do some research maybe. And every couple months I'd ask her, what are you going to use your wish for? What are you going to do for your wish? And she'd always go, I don't know. I don't want to ask for too much. What the fuck did you get cancer for, if not to ask for too much? This is why she didn't deserve it. She didn't understand how to be a sick kid. She didn't understand the opportunity she'd been handed. She brought healthy kid energy into the children's oncology ward. You can't do that. The day she turned 18, I couldn't look at her. I couldn't. She was a sick kid disgrace. She never used her wish. She never used it. She let her wish expire Think about that. They tracked her down and they printed her name and address on that clean, crisp envelope, and they mailed that Willy Wonka golden ticket right to her, and she didn't show up to the chocolate factory. Fuck you, Kira. In fact, fuck every Make-A-Wish kid who didn't use your wish. If you got a wish and you didn't use it, I wish that you'd died. Emma, you don't really mean that, right? No, of course I don't mean that. It was just a joke. Okay, well, it sounds like you were really serious. I wasn't serious. It was just a joke. I'm sorry. I know what I just said could maybe be construed as offensive. I know what I just said was offensive, and you're probably feeling bad for Kira and her cancer patient hating sister. I just want to say, 1, cancer patients have bigger problems to deal with than my jokes. Like, for instance, figuring out what they want to do for their wish. 2, everything I have just said, every single one of those jokes was approved by my sister. So ethically, I am supporting the happiness and entertainment of a childhood cancer survivor, and you aren't. Grow up. Don't feel bad for Kira. Kira is alive. She's healthy. She's been in remission for over a decade. Yay. Kira lives in a 2-bedroom waterfront apartment in Brooklyn just for herself. Kira travels to Europe multiple times a year for fun. Kira did PECs. Kira was at the top of the high school athletic ladder 2 years after she got cancer. And on at least 3 separate occasions, Kira has been offered to be a couple's third because she's just that hot. I am telling jokes to myself in my apartment, and I have never thrice been offered a threesome. She's doing just fine, okay? Kira is so hot that people regularly refer to her, to my family, as the hot one, as the clarification for who they're talking about. My grandma was once having a conversation with her neighbor, and he goes, "You know, your granddaughter's a real hot ticket." And without missing a single fucking beat, my grandma responds, "Oh yeah, Kira gets that from all the boys and the girls." Now, 1, props to Barb for being 90 and progressive. And 2, I know it's a little wrong to want your grandparents to find you hot, but would it have killed her to take a second? Maybe ask, "Oh, which one? Like, can we pretend? Can you give me something, please?" God. It's okay. Kira, give me the hot one, because I'm the little sister. Kira has money. She has a stable job. My parents enjoy her company. She shops at those no-waste stores in Bushwick where white girls will deep-throat quinoa out of a horse-grain feeder and then throw it up into a mason jar like an environmentally friendly mother bird. I'm the little sister, which means I'm funnier and cooler, and I have better style, but only because I stole all of her clothes and moved across the country before she could take them back. I know all this brings up the question, Emma, if you had gotten a Make-A-Wish, what would you have wished for? I'm glad you asked. I was 9 when Kira got her Make-A-Wish, so naturally, at 9, I would have asked for everything at the Scholastic Book Fair. The Scholastic Book Fair, the one you had in elementary school where 3 weeks before it happened, you got a hair-thin catalog with the structural integrity of wet toilet paper, and you sat with your green glitter gel pen, and you circled all the shiny new books that in any other situation you would probably throw in the mud given the choice between them and a Dorito. But because they're in this catalog, because they're in this sexy, barely stapled catalog, you need them. The Scholastic Book Fair, above all else, is how kids learn about class warfare. You can make out the entire socioeconomic standing of a household through how a kid interacts with the Scholastic Book Fair. And forget housing. The childhood book fair bubble has been dealing with rampant, unchecked inflation for decades. Those books were astronomical when I was a kid. I can't even imagine what they're like now. And every kid is there, watching, notating. What can they get that I can't? I was lucky. I was privileged. Day one, my parents sent me with $20 in a little plastic sandwich bag. And on day one, that is billionaire money. That is Jeff Bezos level fuck you money. You can buy anything. Books, smelly pencils, smelly erasers, smelly stickers. It was the 2000s. Everything had to smell like dusty chocolate. You're going crazy in the Goosebumps section. You're losing your mind over the Babysitters Club hardback editions. You can buy anything. You can buy everything. You don't care. You're gonna take it all home and you're gonna come back for day 2. But you have nothing left. So you waddle up to your parents, and it's 2008. They don't have jobs, but you don't care. You need the 5th Little House on the Prairie book. Please, sir, can I have some more? They flick you away like the life-sucking flea that you are. You go to school empty-handed, and then you see Riley. Riley's parents sent her with another $20. And, I mean, good for Riley. I mean, nothing against Riley, except that she's a show-off elitist bitch who shoves it in everyone's face that she can buy the Magic Treehouse full box set, and you can't even afford Tommy Goes to the Moon. So day 3, you come prepared. Last night you went through all the couch cushions and the everything drawers, through the twist ties and the old batteries, and you scrounge together $2. And you buy yourself a sticker that smells like the idea of an orange. And you huff it just to feel something, and then Riley comes up beside you. Another $20. And she reaches in front of you. She plucks not just one, but a whole sleeve of orange stickers, and she places it on top of her pile of Judy Moody books. I'll take these too. And at 10:43 a.m., on Wednesday, February 13th, 2008, you become a Marxist. Kids are vicious, dude. Kids are vicious. I learned that kids were vicious when I started babysitting. I started babysitting when I was like 16, 17, and I thought, it hasn't been that long since I was a kid. I can do this. I can keep kids alive. What do you have to do? You have to pop on Frozen. You gotta suggest brushing their teeth. You gotta eat their parents' food. Pretend you didn't. I can do this. And I started babysitting for this really lovely family. And they had 2 daughters, Millie, who was 5, and Becca, who was 2. You know how in true crime documentaries, how they'll interview people who knew murderers before they were caught? Like, they'll call people and be like, Did you suspect anything? And the neighbor, the teacher, the grocery store clerk, they're always like, oh my God, no, he was wonderful to me. I cannot believe he ate 15 people. I just thought he liked barbecue sauce. In 10 years, I'm gonna get a call from someone making a documentary, and they're gonna say, you babysat a girl when she was 5 years old. She's now a psychopath and has been sentenced to life in prison. Did you suspect anything? And I'm gonna go, oh my God. Of course I did. I knew it. I called that shit. That girl was psycho, diagnostically. I started doing the easy stuff with Millie and Becca, like Friday night date nights, parent-only parties, that sort of stuff. And Millie was such a lovely little kid. She went to bed when I told her to. She brushed her teeth without me asking. She would help her little sister into her crib. She was adorable. So when the family asked me to be their full-time after-school babysitter, I didn't even have to think about it. Of course, Millie is such a lovely girl. And that is exactly what they say about psychopaths. They're smart and charming. They know how to lure you in and trap you before you realize it's too late. And it was too late. Day one. I'm picking up Millie from school. I'm standing with the Lululemon moms, in case you're wondering what kind of town I'm from. And Millie doesn't come out with the other kids. No, I have to go inside and get her because she got held back because she got angry at another kid while they were packing up for the day and tried to strangle them with her backpack. Jesus Christ. Strike one. That whole first week, that whole first month, I'm getting parents coming up to me. Excuse me, your daughter spit on my son during recess. Oh, she's actually not my daughter. Excuse me, your daughter stole my daughter's markers during art class. Hey, that kid punched my kid. Hey, she made my kid cry. Excuse me. Every day, we'd get back to the car and I'd go, Millie. Like, girl power. But women go to prison too now. You gotta be careful. You gotta stop. Why are you doing all this? I don't know. We'd get home. She'd have these tantrums. Like, she'd start hitting and kicking Becca. Poor, innocent, sweet 2-year-old Becca. And I'm grabbing her off her, and I'm getting in between them. And, oh, God, she's hitting and kicking me now. And, Christ, she's strong. Like, I can barely keep her back. Like, maybe I'm not qualified for this. This girl is a rage machine, and the only thing between her and thoroughly modern murder is me at $12 an hour. But then we'd have these wonderful moments. Like, there was one time we were making turkey sandwiches and Millie was helping Becca. They're cutting off like the crust. It's so cute. We're laughing. They're calling me mom. I was like, don't do that. But oh, this isn't so bad. Millie's helping Becca into her chair. She's helping her with her plate. And Becca goes to take a bite and Millie grabs the sandwich out of her hand, throws it on the ground, and stomps on it. Becca starts crying. I'm like, whoa, we were just having a good time. What happened? And Millie is laughing and pointing at her sister, delighted. Cry, cry, cry. Strike two. It just kept getting worse. One day, I've picked up Millie from kindergarten and we're picking up Becca from preschool, and this was always a bit of a hassle because Becca didn't want to leave the playground and Millie didn't want to leave the car, and so I'm dragging both of them, and there's a lot of parents around. It's very chaotic, and this day, finally, I've gotten Becca into her car seat, and I'm kind of struggling with the buckle with one hand, and I've got Millie's hand in the other, and then suddenly, I don't. Millie drops my hand and dead sprints into the road, into 4-lane traffic. And in a second, I abandon Becca and I run and I tackle Millie and I drag her back to the car and I am screaming, "What would you do that for? Why would you do that? You could have been hit, you could have died. Oh my God, why don't you know how dangerous that is?" And Millie, completely serene, looks up at me and goes, "I wanted to see what would happen." You wanted to see what would happen if you got hit by a car? Or you. Strike 3. I'm out. I can't do this anymore. I am leaving this house and I am never, never coming back. I am taking my money and I am never coming. Oh my God, they tipped me $100. Her parents were going berserk. And they were just as confused, just as scared, just as lost as I was. I mean, they didn't recognize their daughter. And I'm 17. I can't go up to them and be like, "That child needs a straitjacket." I can't do that. So after every incident, every time they got like an inkling that I had reached my breaking point, they'd tip me double, triple. They'd shove wads of cash in my hands like, "Please don't quit. Please don't quit. We don't know anyone else who would tolerate her." And at a certain point, I kind of felt like I was taking hush money. Like, we know she's in violation of the harassment policy, but corporate loves her. Please don't go to the police. So I stayed. It was getting to me though. I mean, I'm 17 looking up mommy vloggers on YouTube for advice. I found some old parenting books my mom and dad had kept in the basement. Why is my kid so mean to me? Raising my psychologically violent child. It's not your fault. Wonder why they have those. And I just kept white knuckling it through every afternoon. Until the day that Millie got hold of a knife. I don't know how she got this knife. I don't know where she got this knife. I was just helping Becca get her shoes off, and Millie had been yelling about something in the car. I don't know what, but I'm just trying to drown her out just for a minute because I just want to help Becca. I just want to help Becca get her shoes off just for a minute. Just for a minute, I just want to help Becca get her shoes off. "Millie, please!" And she's running toward us, knife in her fist. I jump up, try to protect Becca, but Becca sees her too. She sprints away from me, and Millie tears after her. And the house is sort of built like a circle, so I run the other way, and I scoop Becca up, and I run up the stairs. I run into Becca's room. I put Becca in the corner. I close the door, and fuck, it's a kid's room. It doesn't lock. Fuck. I take a chair, and I jam it under the knob, and at this point, Millie has caught up, and she is slamming her whole body against the door with every ounce of strength she has. So I hold the door and I voice call their mom, like, "You gotta get home right now. You gotta get home right now." And we stay like this. 20, 30, 40 minutes. And Millie will not stop slamming against the door. I can't take this anymore. Oh my God. I mean, I'm listening to her scream. I'm listening to Becca scream. I can't do this anymore. I mean, this girl has been terrorizing me, making me lose sleep, making me cry for months. I can't do this anymore. I can't fucking do this anymore. And I open the door and I step into the hallway and I just, Millie, what is your problem? What is wrong with you? So many people used to ask me that. What's your problem? What's wrong with you? They're such weird questions, aren't they? What's wrong with you? Doesn't even sound like a question. What's wrong with you? That's not a question. That's a statement. There's something wrong with you. And there was something wrong with me. Just like there's something wrong with Millie, but I'm not asking her. I just want her to stop being angry. She's looking up at me. She's glaring up at me. And she starts crying, but not loud, big, tantrum, kid tears. Like she's trying to hold back hot, angry, adult tears. And she says something to me that I will never forget. You all think there's something broken in me. A few months ago, one of my best friends asked me how I felt when I looked at a photo of myself as a little kid. And I go out of my way to avoid looking at them most of the time because it reminds me of what it was like back then. But when I do look at them, I'm really mad. I'm really mad at all the people who acted like they didn't know why I was such an angry kid. Like I didn't have reasons, like I wasn't supposed to be angry, that I couldn't breathe, that everything hurt all the time, that I was missing school, that my sister got sick and I couldn't do anything about it. Everyone in my life knew those things. They were there. They knew. But still, I always got the what's wrong with you? Why are you so angry? You don't have a lot of options when everyone in your life is telling you there's something wrong with you. You just kind of start to give people what they expect, and you might scream and tantrum, you might stay silent and glare, and you end up letting the idea of what people think you are, this broken, angry kid, become true. And I know that. I lived that. And I still never, not once, asked Millie genuinely, why are you so angry? And I love being angry. I do. I do love it. It is such a satisfying emotion. Anger burns inside you. It's like oil. It's like fuel. It is hot and it is bright and it fills you up so there's no room for anything else. It's comforting. It's cozy. And it is so tiring. And I have been so tired for so long. And I wish Millie, it's okay for you to be mad. You've got to find another way to deal with it because this is jail time behavior. But if you want to cry, if you want to scream, if you want to stamp your feet or shake your fist without the knife, do it. And when you've gotten it all out, maybe we can talk about what you're feeling underneath all that. Because if you don't, you're going to end up in your 20s, at home, alone, writing a comedy show about how much it sucks to be blamed for being an angry kid. I don't know what happened to Millie. I left. That was my breaking point. I don't know what happened to her, and I'm not gonna know until I get that phone call. But I think about her a lot, and I was 17. I'm older now. I've had a lot of time to process and grow up and mature. And I know now that if I ever have a kid, and that kid starts to grow up and act like Millie, or if that kid starts to grow up and act out like me, that then, at that time, I'll be able to kneel down and look at that little girl and say, if I hear this door slam one more time, I will dump you in the trash, you little muskrat. Because I'm not ready to have kids.